The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Think Things event 2021. Thank you for joining us online, especially for those people who are supposed to be here in person, physically in the Neckarhal in Mechelen, because this was supposed to be a hybrid event. But last week, of course, because of the circumstances we all know about, we decided to switch from a hybrid event to a full online event. But the main thing is, which is very important, of course, is that we haven't postponed or cancelled the event, because the topics that we are discussing today are way too important. And although we're not able to meet physically, the main topic today is co-creation, because co-creation is very important to come to innovative solutions. And we will prove this today with the 5 topics that we are discussing in the next 2 hours. Internet of Things and analytics, manufacturing, artificial intelligence, 5G, and smart working. Some of these topics will be introduced by a keynote speaker, and we also have a flying reporter we've sent around the country to find out more about the real-world applications of these technologies. So we will meet Ben Roelands later on. So there is a lot to discover in the next 2 hours, so I suggest that we start straight away. But of course, the CEO of Proximus wants to welcome you as well, so I give the floor to Guillaume Boutin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm super happy to welcome you to Think Things, where we bring customers, partners, and experts together. Welcome. Today's edition is all about thinkers and go-getters, a great opportunity to meet and to mix all your ideas with new technology. New technology is not a goal in itself. It's merely a tool. Let me explain. The way we think about technology and how to use it has changed. Companies are realizing that technology is not only there to optimize their operational processes. It helps us to reinvent ourselves, our companies, and our society. And if we do things with the right mindset, we can work together to create a sustainable and future-proof business environment. And that is the goal of technology. But today, hardly any company can keep up with all the latest innovations on their own. You are better off working in an ecosystem with technology companies, with startups or academics, and many other structures, so that you can collaborate with the best experts in the fields. Think, work, and move forward together. Because together we can combine the know-how of one company with the expertise of another. Together, in co-creation, we can get to exceptional innovation. Together, we simply achieve more. It's Think Things trademark to demonstrate how things work. And this year is no different. Please join me in an interactive talk show filled with inspiring roundtables, keynotes, and some live entertainment as well. And please explore some of the topics in greater depth in the breakout sessions. I hope today will inspire you. And I truly wish that today is the starting point of a new journey full of innovation and transformation, so that your organization will be ready for the business challenges of today and tomorrow. Enjoy the ride.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy. Take yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and let yourself be inspired by the many experts we have invited this afternoon. So my first guest here on stage is Alex Loret. He is Director Enterprise Solutions and Platforms at Proximus. A very warm welcome, Alex, but you have not come alone. I've seen you've got some company. Is it a he, a she, or is it an it? What should I call it? It?
It's a it.
It's
a
yeah.
robot. So welcome everybody, and I'm indeed presenting you Spot, and it's Spot supervisor Cindy. So Spot is a mobile robot, and of course it can do a lot of stuff. It's a robot from Boston Dynamics. It can do routine inspections, tasks, capture data. It has a lot of sensors into it. Actually, he uses sensors for his own balance, but also a lot of sensors to be able to detect heat, gas, temperature, noises, a lot of information. And of course, it can be connected in 5G. But actually, the reason why we invited Spot, and the most important element, is that this robot works together with a human. And it's all about what we want to talk about today. Innovation and technology is one stuff, but it really requires also human brains and creativity to make it to the next level. And it's all what we want to show here today with Think Things, inspire you with the good mix between technology and human creativity.
Well, Alex, this was supposed to be a hybrid event, but that doesn't keep us from organizing this online event now, so all the main things will remain as foreseen.
Yeah, unfortunately enough, we had really wanted to do a hybrid event, letting everybody choose about coming physically or attending remotely. It's really what we do every day as Proximus Enterprise. We help enterprise and customers to really cope with this new hybrid environment. Now, unfortunately, due to the COVID situation, we revolved back to a full digital event. We are still here physically, and I hope that everybody will enjoy the event from behind their screens.
So this is all about co-creation. That's the main topic, the main topic of today. So why is it so important for Belgian companies to work on this co-creation?
Co-creation is important because the world is changing very fast. But what we saw in the last months is that there is an important factor coming extra, is the uncertainty factor. So with a lot of uncertainty and speed, you cannot cope with that alone. You have to do innovation in co-creation with other companies. So at Proximus, we are used to do so, especially for IoT. We have a living ecosystem of IoT partners for many years, but we decided also to move the extra speed and to create extra partnerships in retail co-creation. So we did, for instance, partnership with SaaS to bring together IoT capabilities and AI capabilities to be able to deliver intelligent IoT use case. We have an important partnership with Basics. We decided together to jointly invest in a new company called Ogi to bring augmented energy, so smart energy and smart building use case together. We have a lot of use case that we will show today around augmented reality, virtual reality, supported by 5G. And we also scaled up our capabilities in consulting to be able really to help customers in these digital transformation.
You already mentioned many of the topics and use cases that we're going to discuss this afternoon. What else can people who are watching today, what can they expect?
So I hope they will be inspired, or you will be inspired by our use case around 5G, AI, analytics, and digital innovation. And I hope that you will see how we can turn a problem into an idea and then transform this idea into an innovation, and how this innovation is actually brought together with some partners to really deliver a solution. And of course, you can count on Proximus to act as a bridge between this different technology, but also as a kind of a hub between all the parties that have to contribute to digital innovation.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. Let's get started. And the first topic, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to discuss today is data analytics and Internet of Things. And these are my experts around the table. Alex, we already met and have already introduced. And there is also Lionel Lavaux, CEO of What the Shop, and Franois Xavier, Head of Tourism in Wallonia at the cabinet of Minister Valérie Debu. A very warm welcome, gentlemen. Lionel, I'd like to start with you. Could you explain a little bit what the shop does? Because I don't think everybody knows. And what kind of partnership do you have with Proximus?
Yes, we've developed a retail tech company. We basically help retailers to innovate in their shops, and we've been working with Proximus on different projects. Mainly, we began with a project with the Citadelle de Namur, then with JC Deco. And last year, during the COVID crisis, we decided to launch together the entrance monitoring solution to help retailers with all the the sanitary rules that they had to respect during that strange period that we've all lived.
Yeah, lived and are still living,
And
in
still
fact.
living, in fact. And so that was a quite great partnership. Proximus brought, of course, connectivity for this project. We needed connectivity. We needed sensors that they could bring on the table. They helped us with their sales team, their technical teams on the Belgian market. And as we are a French company, we brought access to the French market, and we also brought on the table our own sensors, our platform, and the totem itself, because we needed some totems to show the real-time counting solution for the customers in the shops.
So now you've already explained a bit what the aim was of the partnership. Did it meet up to the expectations?
Yes, I think so. We've had some quite great results. In fact, last year we did present the use case of one of our customers, which is Decathlon. We've had some great results in that field, and in fact, we keep on innovating. We'll show that later during the breakout session that we'll have today. But we keep on innovating on introducing new analytics data for retailers. It's been the period we've been through has accelerated the adoption of analytics for retailers. They now understand that they really truly need to understand what is happening in their shops. And we've been able to answer those expectations with this collaboration. Yeah.
So do you have already an idea whether there's more to get out of this partnership in the future?
Well, as I just said, we still have a lot to do in the analytics part. We still have lots of innovation to bring in that field, but we also are working on new disruptive solutions. For example, we've been working on a content management solution to give access to local contents for the customers when they enter the shop. Contents they can browse with their smartphones, and that's the type of solution which are really innovative and really hard to create.
Well, thank you very much, Lionel. Okay.
My pleasure.
Alex, sustainability, it's a topic that it's important for many companies and also, of course, for Proximus. What steps is Proximus taking in this regard, and how can Internet of Things and data analytics support its commitment?
Well, sustainability is really one of our key strategic pillars. We have 4 strategic pillars at Proximus. One of them is sustainability. Just to give you an idea on the importance we put on this topic. Basically, we work on 2 axes for this. First, we do a lot on circularity. For instance, all our B-box are in recycled plastics. We did recently a campaign to recuperate all the old smartphones to be able to recycle them, which is called Don't Miss the Call. We also recuperate and refurbish CPEs and a lot of box, so that's one element. The other element is really work on CO2 reduction. And for this, of course, like any company, we want to move to full green fleet, to 100% green energy. But we do much more. Of course, we have already green data centers, and we do a lot of work on CO2 abatement. So you have to know Proximus, approximately per year, it's 760 kiloton of CO2 emission. We are already more than halfway in CO2 abatement, meaning that we can abat already more than the half, roughly 460. And our ambition is that by 2030, we will be net positive CO2 contributor. So it's really a huge ambition. Now, what we do to ourselves, we also want to help customers and do this transition. So we have a lot of solutions, but also projects where we can help in the calculation of CO2 abatements for customers. Solutions, of course, many solutions. For instance, if you have cloud assets, or if you move from a PBX solution to PBX in the cloud to a full cloud solution, you reduce de facto your CO2. But of course, IoT and analytics are really at the core of what we can do in CO2 reduction. And everything that we will talk about today is about that. If we speak about smart logistics, smart manufacturing, but also smart energy, smart building, it's all about being more efficient in the way we operate to reduce our emissions.
We already heard a very interesting use case in the retail sector from Lionel. So what other companies is Proximus partnering with?
So we do a lot of other stuff, and not only companies, by the way, we do also a lot of stuff for the public sector. And due to the situation, we really followed, I would say, the actuality to do extra and new stuff. For instance, due to the COVID situation, we really had a specific focus last year on equipping all the vaccination centers. So of course, it's with IT and telco services, but much more than that. Because of the temperature monitoring that was required for the vaccine, we came with very specific solution to be able to do this monitoring. These were, of course, IoT-related solution, but also the solution to monitor the number of people entering a vaccination center, what we call the heat map, how many people are there. We helped and we brought these solutions to make vaccination centers efficient and a safe place to go. And not only vaccination center, we do also a lot, and we did a lot for tourism last year, a lot of projects also at the Walloon region, for instance, like the Lodeur or Villaxlaville.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. And let's find out more about this collaboration between Proximus and the Walloon region. Ben Roelands is our flying reporter this afternoon, who traveled around the country for Think Things in the past weeks, looking for real-world applications of new technologies. So he also visited Villaxlaville and Le Lac d'Odeur, two sites in Wallonia where big data is being used and implemented.
Welcome to the impressive ruins of the Abbey of Villaxlaville, built in the 12th century and inhabited by monks for over 600 years. Today it's mostly frequented by tourists, and I'm here to find out what they think. Van waar ben je precies gekomen?
Van Assen.
Overijs.
La première fois que vous venez ici?
Personnellement, oui, c'est la troisième fois.
Nee, het is de eerste keer.
Combien est-ce que vous comptez de dépenser aujourd'hui?
Environ de 50 € par personne.
30 euro, weet ik niet.
Interesting, but then again, to be able to find out where your visitors came from, where they're going, how much money they'll be spending on site, let's say it's a bit complicated. Maybe there's an easier way to do it. Let's find out. Cédric, nous voilà ici à Villaxlaville, une site ancienne et en même temps, c'est le sommet de la technologie. Expliquez-moi un peu.
On essaye d'évoluer et de rester à la pointe, je veux dire, de la technologie avec justement ce projet Big Data qui a été lancé avec Proximus. Il s'agit de mieux comprendre et de mieux savoir qui vient nous rendre visite, quand, comment. On avait déjà un petit peu d'informations avec notre caisse à l'entrée où on demandait la province d'origine des visiteurs. Mais ici, on permet de capturer beaucoup plus d'informations et de la capturer directement de manière automatique. Donc ces informations-là sont super utiles pour nous. Et puis, il y a aussi des informations qui sont utiles de savoir quelle quantité d'argent ils dépensent dans la région.
Et comment est-ce que vous mesurez ça alors?
On le mesure avec différents types de données, donc les données forcément des capteurs, mais ces données sont aussi croisées avec les paramètres socio-économiques des profils des personnes, qui permettent de dire quel est leur niveau d'études, quelle est leur composition de ménage, etc. Aussi des données bancaires qui permettent de savoir quels sont les montants dépensés dans la région, ici, et donc de pouvoir faire un ratio et de comparer justement l'impact économique de leur présence sur place.
Donc avant, vous le faisiez comment encore?
Donc simplement, le visiteur à l'entrée, on lui demande de quelle province il vient. C'était la seule, je veux dire, statistique de base qu'on avait.
So now we know how they did it right here on site, but maybe we should ask the minister. Madame la ministre, bienvenue ici à Villaxlaville. Moi, je me demandais, le but du projet que vous avez déroulé ici, c'était quoi?
Donc, nous menons au niveau de la Wallonie une stratégie digitale pour développer le tourisme. C'est une des pistes que nous allons développer pour mieux connaître les attentes des touristes et surtout nous adapter, proposer des produits qui correspondent à leurs attentes.
Et pourquoi ce site-ci alors?
L'abbaye de Villaxlaville est un site qui est en grande partie propriété de la région wallonne et qui génère des flux de visiteurs importants qui viennent d'horizons et de régions très différentes. Et donc, c'était une belle opportunité d'étudier ce site de manière plus approfondie.
Pourquoi est-ce que vous avez choisi de travailler avec Proximus?
Donc, il s'agit en fait d'une opération test, c'est un projet pilote. Et donc, Proximus nous a proposé d'étudier les données à partir donc des visiteurs sur ce site et ça nous a semblé avait une très belle opportunité de réaliser cela cet été. Et donc nous sommes maintenant en phase d'évaluation de ces projets pilotes. Nous étudions en fait ce type de technologie, donc le big data, pour le développer effectivement dans d'autres sites de Wallonie. C'est important en matière d'analyse du tourisme, mais aussi en matière de gestion des flux.
Now, as you can see that the project they've enrolled right here has been proven to be very successful, but I've heard of another project in Le Pays des Lacs, and that's where I'm headed right now. I'm right now at Les Lacs de l'Odeur. Right here they have 1,500 hectares of surface with lakes, and they welcome none less than 1,200,000 people every year. That's enormous, and that's exactly why they decided to do the little exercise. Voilà, Madame Charru, nous voilà ici tout près du barrage des Lacs de l'Odeur. Mais racontez-moi un peu, qu'est-ce que vous avez fait avec Proximus?
Sur le site, il y a plusieurs lieux de captage où là, on peut voir principalement par où les personnes arrivent, quels sont le type de personnes qui viennent jusqu'ici, en fait le profil un peu. Ça permet aussi de voir un peu la manière dont les gens se comportent sur le site et donc ça nous permet de pouvoir mieux organiser sur place le déplacement, l'organisation des parkings par exemple. Ça nous permettrait avec le tech de pouvoir envisager un autre type de mobilité, ce qui n'existe pas pour le moment. Et donc le travail que l'on fait avec Proximus va pouvoir nous aider à imaginer ce qui pourrait être mis en place.
Moi j'aimerais savoir ce que vous savez sur moi comme données.
Alors par rapport à ce que moi je reçois, les données sont agrégées et anonymisées par Proximus. Donc ce qui veut dire que c'est par rapport à un quartier de manière générale, c'est par rapport à un ensemble de personnes. Et donc, il est impossible de savoir que vous avez fait ça, puis ça, puis ça, et de le relier à votre personne. Et donc, ça permet d'avoir des données tout en étant dans le respect de la vie privée.
Wow, places absolutely worthwhile visiting. Franois Xavier, you are the head of tourism at the cabinet of the minister Valérie Debu. What did you learn from this data collection?
So we really learned a lot from this project. So it was a proof of concept. So as Mrs. Debu said in the video, we have huge ambition for the digital and the tourism in Wallonia, but also even at the worldwide level, it's a major point, it's a major purpose. And one of the points of the digital strategy we have developed, co-created with our administration and the stakeholders, is how to monitor our policies, our public policies, and big data is one of the way to monitor it. And Proximus came to us with a proposition to run a project from July to October, and that was a way for us to understand what kind of data we could collect, anonymized data, if it's important to say, and what we can use it for, because we have to develop an expertise. It's not only important to get the data, the most important is to use it on the correct purpose. And, yeah.
So Proximus came to the minister, to the cabinet. So how was that partnership with Proximus? How did it go?
So they knew we are looking and developing. We met them for the development of our strategy, and so they came back, and we chose two different sites. You just saw, donc Villaxlaville and Les Lacs de l'Odeur, who have a different purpose, different offer, and we co-created this. Even with also with our own administration, because there was an interest for the field. You saw Mr. Delcourt in the video. He rapidly said that it was interesting because they could monitor, for example, the communication actions. They could knew almost instantly the effect of the communication on the visitor coming on their site, and that was not possible up to there. So, and for us, there is also a lot of a big learning on the impact of the public policies. There were events on in Villaxlaville during that period, July and August, and so we could know the impact on the site, but also around the site of the abbey and the economic impact, because tourism is also, and most of all, an important economic sector in Wallonia.
So what is the result now of the collaboration with Proximus and all the data that you have gathered?
So the result is we better know what kind of data we can get. There is the big data part coming from the mobile network of Proximus and also other partners. And at the micro level, there are IoT solutions that were on the site, and we developed our expertise to use those data, and we better know where our tourists come from, what are the economic profile, the money they spent on the site and around, and so we will, on the future, better know, using this technology, what are the policies to develop, where to develop them, and the impact they have, and how we can we can set our strategy at that level.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, this concludes the first topic of this afternoon, Internet of Things and Data Analytics. So thank you very much, Franois Xavier Len, thank you, Lionel Avaux, and Alex Lorette. Thank you.